Be ready, 10 seconds to go. Start. I am happy that the government has emphasized its commitment to non alignment, but in the process of their commitment to non alignment, they have tried to use the phrase genuine non alignment. I shall not quarrel with my friend about words. But what is non alignment? Non alignment is not a mantra. Non alignment is the basic fundamental right of every sovereign country. When we are not committed and there is no prior commitment to any power block, we take our decision on what our policy should be on its merits on any given issue. And if this cannot be genuine, it cannot be non alignment. So, to use the word genuine non alignment in a sense is a contradiction in term. In any case, I hope what he means by genuine and what we meant by genuine are the same and there is no concrete difference in the word. Today, foreign relations do not cover only consular or diplomatic relations. They cover trade, economic development, technological cooperation, and many other things. Foreign relations also fall into different spheres and categories. It is needless for me to point out the importance of our relations with the Soviet Union in many of these fields. Soviet Union has always stood by us in every hour of our crisis and in every problem that we have had to face. This can be said of few other countries, and we recognize this invaluable assistance. I shall not dilate on this. I am sure my friend understands what I am trying to convey. At the same time, I need not emphasize the necessity of our working out economic and development relations with the United States, Japan, West Germany, and other Western countries. They have the technology and they have the financial resources to play a leading role in giving assistance to all developing countries. But we have to recognize the complementary nature of any assistance that we can get either from the Soviet Union or from the Western countries. This complementary nature of assistance is very clear and does not require any elaboration. There is one other aspect to which I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Minister. This is very often forgotten. We are not really an underdeveloped country. Next to the United States and USSR, the largest reservoir of technological skills do exist in India. It is unfortunate that we have not been able to utilize fully the technological manpower and trained skills that we have in this country in plenty. However, this very reservoir of technological skills and trained manpower can become a useful element and an asset in our foreign relations. We can, in certain fields, become an aid giving country. Giving of aid does not necessarily mean giving only financial aid. we can very well compete with the so called developed countries in certain fields through the export of our technology and skills, such as in sugar, in cement, in textiles, and in many other fields. In fact, we can probably be more helpful to the less developed countries than the highly developed and complex technologies of the West. This is a field which needs to be carefully explored in our foreign relations in the context of our extremely friendly relations, which the Honorable Minister mentioned with countries like Iran and the Arab states, our technical services can be offered to mutual advantage, and this could become an extremely useful cementing factors in our relations. This would apply with equal emphasis to the countries of Africa and Southeast Asia. While on this subject, I would like to give one interesting instance. One of my colleague in this house was telling me that the other day that he once suggested that we take on the technical survey free of cost of the hydroelectric potential of Indonesia and how this could have been a contribution from us to the development process of Indonesia. This is a field where we have the manpower, the skills, and the competence. I do not know what became of this suggestion. Probably this is buried in bureaucratic files neatly tied up with red tape. I am not disclosing any secret if I were to recall one of my own experiences in this context. Some years ago, I made a submission to the Ministry of External Affairs that we should consider assisting Zambia on the building of the railways. We did not take sufficient interest in this project. Finally, China took the work on hand and has now completed the job. Surely, if China could have done it, we would have also done it. Sir, I can only call it our lack of interest in the railways as an example of our bureaucratic indifference and incompetence lying therein. If we had undertaken their railway, our Bhilai steel plant, locomotive works, and the coach factory would have been kept busy for at least 20 years. I presume that my friend might say that this should have been raised earlier. Stop